With wars flaring in Ukraine and tensions boiling between the US and Iran, the words World War III don't sound so crazy anymore. But if global hell breaks loose and nuclear warheads start flying like a confetti at a political rally, which countries actually stand a chance of surviving, or better yet, avoiding invasion together? Welcome to Inviolable, the countries you absolutely definitely probably don't want to mess with in World War III. From natural fortress geography to secretive defense networks and economic deterrents, some nations are so hard to conquer, you'd sooner try fighting gravity. Today we're looking at the 2025 edition of countries that are practically impossible to invade, and why even the world's biggest superpowers will think twice. Let's dive in. Iran, the mountain fortress. If war had a favorite stage, it'd probably be the Middle East. And Iran, it's been the geopolitical hot seat longer than most countries have had McDonald's. Since the 1950s, Iran has been a target and a tease, flirting with nuclear power, resisting Western control, and giving US presidents across generations one massive migraine. But forget politics. Let's talk practicality. Could anyone even invade Iran? Short answer, no. Long answer, not unless you're into losing thousands of soldiers and uphill battles through desert, mountains, and missile hellscapes. Iran's geography is a military nightmare. Wanna walk in? Better hope your troops love hiking, because Iran is all jagged mountain passes and narrow entry routes. These are bottlenecks that defenders dream of. Any modern invasion would slow to a crawl, and that's assuming drones, mines, and artillery. And don't turn your army into a barbecue. An amphibious assault? Good luck! Iran has a fat stockpile of short-range missiles ready to shred incoming landing forces. Even if you get boots on the ground, they still need a push into mountain terrain filled with a population that's been taught from birth that America is the boogeyman. This will make Afghanistan look like a training exercise. Even Alexander the Great conquered Iran and then deeply regretted it. And Saddam Hussein tried in 1980, lost in 1988. Invading Iran isn't just hard, it is dumb. Verdict: inviolable. Australia, fortress continent. Australia, known for giant spiders, deadly jellyfish, and everything being poisonous including the plants. But also, it is arguably the hardest continent to invade unless you have an intercontinental teleportation system. It's isolated, far away, so far away in fact that during World War II, Japan bombed Darwin, then took one look at the massive nothingness and said, nah. Australia's few major cities are spread out along the coast, with deserts, forests, and crocodile-infested rivers in between. That's a logistical nightmare for any invading army. Need to march an army across the outback? Bring sunscreen and a few thousand tankers of water. Modern-day invaders have the same problem. America is its closest ally, and it's still 6,000 miles away. China? Further than you'd think. Supply lines will be stretched thinner than budget pizza dough. And then there's the AUKUS Pact. Australia is getting nuclear-powered submarines from the US. This isn't a kangaroo with a slingshot anymore. It's a country with teeth. Verdict: inviolable. Brazil, jungle fortress. Brazil, beautiful beaches, football legends, and, oh yeah, an invasion nightmare wrapped in rainforest. Geographically, it's surrounded by impenetrable jungle in the west and tricky borders that will make even the most advanced military cry uncle. Roads? Few. Terrain? Brutal. Invading by land is like trying to drive a tank through a car wash filled with snakes, mudslides, and angry locals. Amphibious assault? You'd have to land on a coastline lined with dense urban centers and favelas that are nearly impossible to control. Good luck fighting guerrillas in concrete mazes. Then there's Brazil's military. This isn't just samba and soccer, it's South America's strongest army. Over 300 tanks, modern artillery, submarines, and a navy that knows its coast better than you ever will. Plus the people? They know the jungle. Any invasion will turn into a guerrilla bloodbath. You might land in Brazil, but you'll never leave. Verdict: inviolable. Switzerland, fortress of Europe. Switzerland, the land of chocolate, watches, and insanely effective military defense. Yep, neutral. Technically, invadable? Not really. Switzerland's topography is so mountainous. It looks like it was built in a video game designed to punish tank operators. Every road is an ambush point. Every peak is a sniper's dream. Their army isn't huge, around 150,000 troops, but it's efficient, well-equipped, and trained for mountain combat, plus the Swiss-built fortress inside mountains. We're talking James Bond villain level stuff. And don't even think about a surprise strike. Their jets and tanks are housed in bunkers that survive direct hits. On top of that, they've got F-18s, Leopard tanks, and a defense policy that turns every citizen into a weekend warrior. Hitler looked at Switzerland and said, maybe not today. Verdict: inviolable. United States, fortress superpower. The United States is the final boss of invasions. Two massive oceans act as a moat. Its military budget dwarfs most countries' GDPs. With more than 800 overseas bases, the US military doesn't just play defense, it's got global reach. Any country trying to invade will need to cross thousands of miles of oceans, face a navy with 11 aircraft carriers, 70 subs, and hundreds of destroyers before reaching US shores. Even if they made it, they'd be met by a non-population, a vast and decentralized defense system, two major air forces, the USAF and the US Navy's Air Wing. China? Not ready. Russia? Still figuring out how to beat Ukraine. In World War III, the US might take hits, but invasion? Not happening. Verdict: inviolable. So there you have it. 5 nations so difficult to invade, so geographically and militarily secure, they are practically glitching in real life. Could a major superpower try? Sure. But will they succeed? Highly unlikely. Whether it's deserts, oceans, mountains, or just an army that says not today, these are the countries that can stand tall, even if the rest of the world burns. Like, subscribe, and check out our next video.